Your dog sits perfectly. Every time. First command. No hesitation. He doesn't bark, doesn't pull, doesn't cause problems. Strangers stop you on the street just to say it. Wow. He's so well behaved, and you smile, because you've done something right. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The dog everyone calls well behaved is often the one suffering the most, in silence, right in front of you. By the end of this, you'll never look at a quiet, obedient dog the same way again. Here's what most dog owners never realize. When you trained your dog, or when someone trained him before you, the goal wasn't happiness. It was compliance. Sit, stay, quiet, good boy. Every time he suppressed an instinct and got rewarded for it, something deeper was being trained. Not obedience, emotional shutdown. And the scary part? It looks identical from the outside. Silence is not peace. Stillness is not calm. They just look that way, and we've been conditioned to celebrate them as success. There are 3 specific behaviors hiding in well-trained dogs that are actually distress signals. Most owners walk past them every single day. Stay for the third one. It's the one that changes everything. Dogs are. They're not naturally quiet creatures. They jump, they whine, they nudge you with their nose at the worst possible moments. They bark at things that make no sense to you. That's not bad behavior. That's language. Every movement, every sound, every moment of resistance, that's your dog trying to communicate something. But what happens when every single one of those signals gets corrected? He doesn't jump on guests anymore, doesn't whine at the door, doesn't nudge your hand during dinner, and everyone around you calls it progress. It isn't. What you're watching isn't a balanced dog, it's a muted one. A dog who tried to speak and learned, slowly, that no one was listening. That dog who stopped jumping on guests? He didn't become calm, he became detached. There's a difference. And it lives in the eyes, if you know how to look. That's the first distress signal, emotional withdrawal disguised as calmness. It doesn't look like pain. That's exactly why it's so dangerous. You've seen it. You just didn't know what you were seeing. The dog who sits by the food bowl, not wagging, not whining, just waiting. You called it patience. It wasn't. Patience has energy underneath it. This was something quiet. Something emptier. That's the second distress signal. A dog who waits without excitement isn't calm. He's checked out. Psychologists have a name for what happens when a living creature is exposed to enough uncontrollable outcomes. When trying doesn't change anything. When resistance leads nowhere. They call it learned helplessness, and it doesn't only happen in labs. It happens in living rooms. Picture this. You take him to the park. Other dogs are running, chasing, colliding into each other with pure, stupid joy, and your dog sits, right at your feet, watching, still. Everyone nearby glances over. He's so well behaved. Nobody asks why he stopped trying. That question, that silence around that question, is where the real problem lives. And it leads directly to the third signal, the one I promised you at the beginning. The one that's hardest to watch. This is the one that stays with you. You know the dog who howls when you leave, scratches at the door, paces the window until you come back? That behavior is exhausting. It's also healthy. That dog is protesting. That dog still believes you're coming back. Now think about the dog who doesn't do any of that. The one who watches you. You put on your coat and simply walks to his bed. No whimper, no follow, no desperate last glance at the door. Everyone calls it trust, calls it maturity, calls it finally being trained. But some of those dogs aren't calm because they trust you. They're calm because they stopped expecting you to return. That is learned powerlessness at its deepest level. A dog who has accepted, somewhere beneath language, that his feelings about the situation simply do not matter. So he stopped having them. Or stopped showing them, which, from the outside, looks exactly the same. There's a kind of quiet that comes from peace. And there's a kind of quiet that comes from giving up. The most obedient dog in the room is sometimes the one who gave up the loudest. Sit with that for a moment. This isn't about guilt. Guilt doesn't help him. Here's what does. Start paying attention to what your dog no longer does. Not what he does wrong, what he stopped doing altogether. The nudge that disappeared. The whine he used to make at the door. The way he used to follow you from room to room. Absence is a signal. It's the one most people never learn to read. Obedience was never the goal. Communication was. It still is. A truly healthy dog is not the one who never disobeys you. It's the one who still dares to tell you something is wrong. That's the dog worth listening to.